we sat on the couch for a solid like 14 hours just watching this thing develop, going from a Cat 1 to a Cat 2 to 3 to a 4, which we now know was a 5, praying it's gonna turn, because at that point the eye is going, it's going right here, like right over top of our house. This area in particular was hurt and hit really, really bad too. And we're still waiting for help, honestly.
One year later, and Hurricane Michael still has its footprint left in the sand. Many people remain homeless, without a job, with many businesses remaining closed. It began on October 1st, 2018, when an area of low pressure formed over the Caribbean Sea. The National Hurricane Center began watching the system for possible tropical development on October 2nd. During the following day, the system had a well-organized deep convection, yet it still lacked circulation that was well-defined. By October 6th, the National Hurricane Center started advisories on potential Tropical Cyclone 14, and on October 7th, a closed center of circulation was found, turning the system into a tropical depression, and later quickly turning it into Tropical Storm Michael that day. Michael later became a hurricane on October 8th, while it touched the west end of Cuba as a Category 2 the same day. Hurricane Michael rapidly intensified into a major hurricane on October 9th with winds of 120 miles per hour. The storm continued to intensify as it was headed towards the Panama City and Mexico Beach areas of the Panhandle of Florida. A well-defined eye wall formed as Michael was approaching the Panhandle, with winds reported at that time at 155 miles per hour, and made landfall as a strong Category 4 storm at 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time on October 10th with a central pressure of 919 millibars. In April 2019, scientists from the National Hurricane Center reanalyzed the data on Hurricane Michael's wind strength and found that Michael's wind speeds were at 160 miles per hour, making it a Category 5 hurricane. This made Michael the first Category 5 storm to make landfall in the United States since Hurricane Andrew in 1992. Hurricane Michael is also the strongest on record to make landfall in the Florida Panhandle. Hurricane Michael continued its way up through Florida, creating devastating and catastrophic damage from Bay County to parts of Jackson County, including Marianna, Florida. The eye wall of Hurricane Michael had a particularly devastating effect, as it appeared to act as a chainsaw to many acres of trees in the Panhandle. Many tops of trees were missing, not only in the Panama City area, but through the area of Marianna as well. Jake Beaupre, the praise and worship leader at Carlisle Baptist Church in Callaway, recalls his experience before, during, and after the storm.
I remember on Saturday, we had seen this little swirl out towards just far south. Didn't really think much of it. In fact, we went to Mexico Beach on October 6th. And then Sunday happened. On Monday morning, I came right to work. They started getting more serious. There's a storm out there and we're scared, and then finally it got to the point where Tuesday we just really needed to make plans to evacuate. We kind of said our goodbyes, we prayed together. We packed up all of our things. I'm talking to my parents because we're about to go to Pensacola, and I'm just thinking, it's not gonna do anything. It's just gonna turn, or do something different. Man, was I wrong. And we sat on the couch for a solid like 14 hours just watching this thing develop to a 4, which we now know was a 5. The thing just went straight, even strengthened, and it went right over top of this area. And I started to call people, and I could not get anybody. I knew so many people here. We made plans October 11th that we were gonna come here. We weren't supposed to, but we made a way here. It was 3 hours. It's a 3-hour drive from here to Pensacola. It took us about 5-6 hours to get here. We took all these back roads. It was incredible. I've never seen so much damage in my life. I mean, we're hopping over power lines, swerving around boats, swerving around sheds in the road and houses in the road, and we finally got here and looked at our home. And about 3-4 trees were on top of the roof. One of them had a branch that pierced through the kitchen, so the kitchen was pretty far gone. We were able to grab most everything except for most of our kitchen stuff. So we were traveling from Pensacola to here for about 6 months or so. The Lord, man, He did some miracles. Sorry. But the Lord provided. It was a Cat 4, and they upgraded it to a Cat 5. I feel like they did the right thing by upgrading it to a Cat 5. And it's a fair thing to say that it's a Cat 5. Before the storm, we had a lot of coverage. During the storm, there was a lot of coverage. And then after the storm, but this area in particular was hurt and hit really, really bad too. And I never saw much on this area. And not even that much on Mexico Beach, to be honest, after the storm. But there was not many newscasters here after the storm. A lot of the newscasters were in Panama City Beach and not in Panama City, which is this area. And because of that, I think we heard a little bit from help from the government too. We waited a long time to get funding from the government, and we're still waiting for help, honestly, from FEMA, insurance companies. There's a lot of areas that need help here. People still need their homes rebuilt, and there's not many workers to do it. Like this, what we're standing on here, this debris pile, we just got it finished last week. It's been a year.
While the nation may have forgotten about Hurricane Michael and the long-lasting effects in the Panhandle, certainly the residents of Bay and Jackson and the surrounding counties have not. A lot of work still needs to be done with homes, jobs, and local businesses in need to be rebuilt and returned. A lot of progress has already been made in these areas within a year's time. Many homes and businesses have been either repaired or rebuilt. However, much more is needed and needs to be done. Referring to the local area code, the Panhandle is 850 strong and will recover however long it may take. If you, your business, or local church would like to help with recovery efforts, visit WJHG.com, one of Panama City's local news sources, and click on the link Donate Hurricane Michael Relief. You'll see many ways you can donate. For everyone that has either donated in one way or another, prayed for our community, and has helped labored among us, thank you.